Hey everybody, on the tubes today we're going to be opening up my sprinkler system for the 2020 year. All systems are different and you should get to know your system as far as reading the book and getting to know what your system can or cannot do. Unfortunately, my system cannot start each zone and close each zone by itself in order to start it up and make sure the heads are working and to make sure everything is spraying correct. You physically have to go to manual station, select one, go 1, 2 to run. Then when you're done, then you go to off. Then you go back to that and you go run through 1 through 7. So you either need someone to help you or you need someone to help you unless you feel like setting up a camera with a tripod at each zone, but that really doesn't help in this applications. One of the first things you're going to want to do is locate your sprinkler valve. 99.9% of the time they're usually inside so they don't freeze, and they come off of your meter and you follow it after the meter because you have to get billed, and there might be 1 or 2 or 3 shutoffs for the house, but at some point there should be a T or an elbow, however it is, and it goes to something like this where the valves are in coalition of the water. So right now the water's going and stopping here. So what you want to do is turn that valve very slowly, and then what you'll do is you'll hear water going down through all this mumbo jumbo and out to the box. Again, make sure with however many valves are in coalition of the water. So this is an old valve. The water's coming up, see? Water goes this way, water's going down because this valve is up and down, this valve is up and down, and then it goes outside. So this is the outside where that pipe comes in and goes into the box. Unfortunately, this year, really no fault of anybody, it's already in the middle of May. So everything started growing and is already germinating due to the fact that everything just kind of was very oddly set back a whole year. So normally I would show you this and these albovites wouldn't be that big. You really don't want to touch anything in there. But what I'll do is I'll open it. Hopefully there's no critters. Sometimes there's critters and crickets, but that has nothing to do with what today is. So what they want you to do, what you shouldn't do is touch any of this. Excuse the sun. Try to get in there. You don't want to touch any of this, but unless it's broken. Ooh, nice critters. Because you don't want to move it. You don't want to agitate it. You don't want to move it. You don't want to bother it. You don't want to break it. And if anything goes wrong, then you'll figure it out then. So with that being said, we're going to close all this back up. This doesn't need to be open. There's multiple bugs. All the wiring should be good. And as long as each zone opens up, then we'll be fine. It's also good practice to try to get a friend, a buddy, a family, or anybody to try to work the basement stuff. Because you really want to walk around if you give any crap about your sprinkler system. In the sense where you want to make sure all the heads work. You want to make sure that all the dirt, all the overgrown stuff is away from the head. So we're going to start zone 1 and work our way through zone 7. As you can see, zone 1 is the flower beds. In a perfect world, you don't really have to adjust anything because nothing should have moved as of last year. Stuff could have broke, but nothing should have moved. So there's 1 head, 2 head, 3 heads, and then there's these heads right here. We just want to walk around and make sure they're good as far as letting all the air out and making sure that they all go as planned here. So there's a 90 and 2 180s, and there's a 90, and then a 180. I'm satisfied that zone 1 is operational and all the air is out. here is zone 2. This is when the heads get a little bit clogged with a lot of dirt. There we go. So what you can do is just manually clean the head if you want, just so you know that it's clean, because the dirt builds up on it. Nothing crazy. This one has a lot of dirt. Just peel it off, throw it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it goes up and down. I'm satisfied that zone 2 is up and running and all the heads are operational. Zone 3 is the sides. Oh, that took a little bit. We'll have to clean that off. Again, you could just run your finger like that. If you think that it's really dirty, you could run your fingers because the grass overgrows. I'm getting wet. See, now this one's a little bit off, so you kind of just getting soaking wet here. You kind of just turn it. There might be some over there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, zone 3. Let's see if there's any in the back. The continuation of zone 3 has these two Mr. Heads also. That concludes zone 3. Now zone 4. Oh, there we go. Getting wet. One's here. One there. These are good, they're not overgrown. These are overgrown a little bit, so you just clean it off, move the grass. It'll come up because of the pressure. You just really, look at that, it's in there. Look at the root. They definitely grow, huh? Well, this one even moved up some of the... That's a lot of crap. And don't be afraid of it. You can touch it. It's not going to bite. I'll just move this stuff. I don't need it. And then there's a mister head out there. So that's zone 4. Zone 4 is up and running. Let's go to 5. And here's zone 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zone 5 was opened, unfortunately, previously, due to the fact that I had to put the swing set together. So it had to be open previously, so I would know where it is and what's going to be affected. So that's why there wasn't a lot of pressure behind it and air, because it was open briefly, like I said. Just clean the heads. You don't have to. People don't even do this. They just turn it on and they'll go to it later if there's a pool. People don't even know sometimes that there's even a problem. Gotta mow the lawn. Okay. Zone 4 is good, and there's a mister back there sitting up. So this looks good. So here's zone 6. They're mister heads. So come on. A lot of air in here. It's the furthest run, I think. I think 6 goes around the whole house. So it'll work. It'll get the pressure out. So there's 2 heads here. Oh, 3 heads. There we go. You could move, like you said, weeds and stuff if you want. You could play with it. You can make sure that it's up enough. Again, because sometimes the shaft, see how overgrown the shaft is from the actual unit? So zone 6 is getting all of this, which is good because I redid this off camera a couple weeks ago and I shouldn't really water it. And I believe gate's in the way, but yes, there's 2 heads here for zone 6. That head talks to this head and this head talks to that head. And zone 7. Zone 7 is going to come on, but it was already pressurized due to the fact that my previous video, if you did watch, shows me showing you how to replace this head. So this should pop up pretty good without any pressure. Go. There's the replacement head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to conclude the opening of the 2020 sprinkler system. You go downstairs where your timer is and you set it accordingly to the weather. Hot, cold, on, off, whatever you feel like it. I'm going to choose some zones because I have some patches that need to be watered and I'm too lazy to do it with the hose because now the sprinkler's on. So thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next sprinkler video.